I'm going to show you the process of what students or you would do if you want to use PDFs with the read-write extension. In some cases, the document might be shared with students, and the first thing they want to do is make sure it's part of their Google Drive and not just sitting in their shared with me, because it being in shared with me is not really the same as being part of their drive, which can cause problems with read write. So when you open up, like this one was shared with me by myself and from a different account, but when I click on that, typically, and for some reason it's not doing it because I think I already added it to Drive, you get a little symbol up at the top that actually looks like this right here. See the little Google Drive symbol with the plus sign? Typically, you're going to see that at the top right here. And if you click on that, you can choose to add to your drive and choose the folder of where the PDF is going to live. So that's the first step. Another thing that you can do, if you've added it to your drive and you don't know where it goes or where it went, you click the three little dots for the main menu, and you can choose Move To, and then choose the folder if you click the arrow next to My Drive of where you want that PDF to go. So I'm going to just put it in a folder called PDFs, and it's going to move there, and it says it's already there, and we're good. So it's in your drive. So that's the first thing you want to do, is make sure it's there. In some cases, if you're unable to add it to your drive from that window, some people like to download and then re-upload it to Google Drive so it's part of their drive, and you would do that with the download button. Okay. So let me go back and go to my folder that says PDFs, even though I have a whole bunch of PDFs right here, just so I can be best practices and show you that I'm in my folder. So here's my PDF folder. This is, the first one is a completely accessible PDF, meaning it works beautifully with read-write extension. So if I double click on it, okay, first you'll notice that you could just choose the read write up here, but that's not how you want to open a PDF and read write. If you do it like this and open the toolbar, it's going to think this is a web page and it's not going to work correctly. So I want to close that out and actually choose Open With and choose Read Write for Google Chrome. And that's going to open your PDF reader toolbar. I think you can also do it this way, Open With. Oh, nope, I don't see it here now. That's okay. So we're going to do Open With Read Write for Google Chrome. And if you start to see, let's see, it's not showing it right now. Okay, here we go. That little bar going across the top, that's a good sign that tells you that it's loading the PDF reader. See where it says Text Help PDF Reader. If you don't see this, it's because you have not installed that particular part of the extension. So go back to your resources, go back to the ACT website, look for Text Help PDF Reader in the web store, install that so that you can actually use PDFs with the read-write extension correctly. All right, so here is the PDF. So notice that I can zoom in or whatever. And then let's say I go to click to speak. I actually like this better because wherever I point, it's going to start reading. It may not see Alice. It might say Lice. Let's see.
Down the rabbit hole, Lice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. All
right, so I'm going to stop. So you may or may not have heard that audio, but it was reading out loud as it highlighted. And you have full functionality of using your dictionary. So let's see if I could do Mind and do dictionary. The dictionary will come up with all of the vocabulary. Same thing with picture dictionary. I don't know if it's actually, it does have a picture of that. You can highlight in here and have your highlights work and all of that. So it's completely interactive and functional. Okay. Now let's say you add annotations in here. You add typewritten text. You add your push pins. You add whatever that you want. If you want to continue to see this the next time you open it, when you go back to your drive and you open that PDF again, if you don't open it with a read-write extension, see how all your highlights are missing. You have to go back and choose Open With Read Write for Google Chrome for ReadWrite to be able to show you the annotations that you made with its own tool. Okay, so keep this in mind. If a student turns something into you, they have edits on the PDF. You need to open it with the appropriate tool to be able to see the changes. See? That's why it's very important, if you are using PDFs with your class, that each student has their own copy of it and it is not a shared document, because they're going to see everybody else's annotations. So make sure that you either share it directly with them in Google Drive, and that they add it to their drive so they've made their own copy, or you share it through Google Classroom, which automatically makes a copy for them and they don't have to worry about doing that. In the next one, let me show you what it looks like with an inaccessible PDF. So this one was scanned in and was not downloaded from a website as a completely accessible PDF. So this might be like what it would look like if you were to scan in a book, for example. So if I go to, let me bring it back up. And it's actually in my PDFs folder. And if I do open with ReadWrite, okay, even though the PDF reader or the PDF reader extension is coming up, it's not an accessible PDF. So the way it was scanned, it was not an OCR. See where it says it was not an OCR scanner. And if I were to zoom in, you might actually see that somewhat, because of the way it's scanned, some of the words might be slightly broken. The font is slightly broken, which makes it very difficult, for the computer to read. Not only that, but if I were to go up here and click to speak, the computer or the PDF reader can't see text on here because it's not been converted into text that it can see. Same thing with if I click play, it's not going to read it. It's not going to work. So that's when you need to use Screenshot Reader if you do not have an accessible PDF. And then you just have to use Screenshot Reader, select around, and it will convert it into text and read it for the student. The only problem with that is if there's broken letters, it may not be as accurate. It might be reading some of the words incorrectly because it might think an O is an A.
She was considering in her own mind as well as she could, for the hot day made her.
Now, I've read all that correctly, but there might be a time where it's going to read it incorrectly because it can't see the whole letter and it's going to pronounce the word wrong. However, some of your other tools should still work. Okay, you can still use your typewriter and add text. You can still use your annotations and add push pins. Or is that what I just did was annotations? Let me see a push pin down here. Push pin. Check. Okay. So that will still work as long as you open with the ReadWrite extension. But the reading part of it, the text to speech, does not work without the Screenshot Reader with an inaccessible PDF.